ideas. Now, let's turn our attention to something that impacts every business in this room. How people discover information today, the way audiences search, explore, and engage has evolved dramatically, and businesses that don't adapt risk getting left behind. With new technologies and platforms reshaping behavior, staying visible is no longer as straightforward as it once was. So, how do you stay relevant when the rules of discovery are constantly changing? In our next session, we will be having Alan L. Krishnan up to the stage. He is from SkillNet Solutions, a private limited company. He has over 40 years of experience in retail, manufacturing, trading, and IT. Let's welcome him up to the stage.
Thank you. I can't tell you what an honor and privilege it's to be here. And this was on kind of short notice. So there's been a slight slip on the intro. SkillNet Solutions is one of my clients whom I advise, manage. I'm on the board of directors. I run their companies in the UK and Canada. But my personal identity is TeamUp Corporation, which you will get at the end of the show once they get the presentation slides moving. And I intruded on the, I couldn't avoid, still they bring the presentation up. I'll apologize for the question I asked in the end, because to me, that is my greatest nightmare. Okay, now we can get started, which is awesome, and I hope it works. Awesome. This is a great start to what I'm talking about, because the last word he told me, if it doesn't work, just say next and he'll move it. So there's always hope with a human being involved, and the fallacy, even among our greatest thinkers, historically, including Bill Gates, whom I have great regard for, is they speak things out of turn and then sometimes retract, other times live with it. One of the things Bill Gates said somewhere in the last year, which shocked me beyond imagination, is, oh, in 10 years, teachers and doctors will be redundant. They'll be obsolete. And I'm wondering what has been smoking or drinking. But lately he changed it slightly, very subtly, saying that in a few years, teachers will be able to get away from the repetitive tasks where they add no value and they would focus on where they add value. So I said, thank God my judgment of Bill Gates 25, 30 years ago was not wrong. Anyway, it is often stated that AI will change our lives beyond imagination. Yes, that is true. It doesn't necessarily mean it will change it for the better. It will reduce our work life from what used to be 6 days, which now is 5. And in the future, it'll be 3.5 days. What will be the impact on earnings? And honestly, we are almost not equal, but almost equally divided between men and women who are typically the principal agents, managers of a home. And you went through a nightmare 5, 6 years ago during COVID, when all the time the spouse and the children were at home. What was the impact on your lives? Thank the Lord, it was short-lived and it went away. But just imagine for the rest of your life, your spouse and children are going to be at home for 4 and 3.5 days in a week, half the week. What a nightmare it's going to be. And if you go on the internet and search, there was a very short film, 7 minutes, by an actress in India on that, where she did, which was so amazing. Any of you want to watch it, give me your card and tell me, and I'll send you a link to that. Now, what does AI bring to the table that is dramatically different from changes in the past, particularly in the field of education and healthcare, because that's going to impact our lives in work and out of work. And high impact on AI-driven education. Automated delivery has been around for years. Testing, evaluation has been around for years. So AI is only new wine. I'm sorry. old wine in new bottle, zero special addition of anything. However, AI offers automated production. That is where AI is going to be really valued. If you're in education, you know, periodically curriculum changes, content changes, new textbooks come. And the teacher has to develop the assessment for it, which will take the teacher months of hard work. And not everybody is necessarily able to do that because the teacher operates at a level, the students operate at a lower level. So there are challenges. With AI, anything that's the printed word in PDF form or Word, and to some extent, even in video, I can do assessments for you and give them to you at different levels of difficulty. Basic, little medium, and very advanced. So you can give different students different levels of difficulty in assessment pertaining to their level of expertise and performance, and thereby ensure that every child has the best chance to perform. Now, I'm a very below average student. You give me the top assessment, I'll get minus, not even zero, I'll get minus marks. And what do you think is going to happen? I'll be so demotivated, I'll just get out of school and say, what a horrible, lousy teacher I have. I don't know about any of you, but the only subjects where I've excelled is when I'm in love with the teacher. I will break my hand off my head to please that teacher. I can tell you for $200 trillion, AI can never do that. And I don't have that money, but I'll offer it to you if you can tell me how AI can do that. And that is what people are missing. So educational content is now easily created. Assessments on this can be created in hours for an entire year. And AI-driven assessment now takes only minutes. That is where we should be using it. Now, I am involved in this field, and there's a phenomenal book called The Science of Mind Management. And all of us know that today the greatest challenge is mindfulness, the absence of it, and how it's messing up with lives. Most of us are adults halfway into the grave. It's not that critical. But I fear for our children. And for them, this will make a huge difference where the book will guide and it'll help the adults also do better. Now, anyone who's interested, again, let me know. I'll send you the PDF version of the book and an assessment. You can take the assessment before you read the book, take it again after you read the book and see the impact, how it helps your learning. Oops. Now, encouraged by the success of that book I showed you, we have developed full year assessments of curriculum for physics, biology, and mathematics for one of the largest educational systems in the world. It's called CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education in India. And this will have, soon we will have the entire curriculum on our system and offer it to schools, to children. Now, our AI technology, as I mentioned earlier, has created this in 3 levels of difficulty, which will make it much easier for the teachers to share it with the students. Oops, sorry. Now, all of us know that Alfred Nobel invented dynamite, which changed the world, for better and for worse. The entire highway system in the United States is there because of what he did. Dynamite is what broke through mountains and rocks and built a system which has made us one of the most well-connected, productive nations in the entire world. Our growth is because of that. And today, when there's any crisis, you can get relief supplies to our city very, very easily on the road. But the same thing has been used for destruction. And we are seeing our hard-earned taxpayer money, $2 billion a day, is being blown for absolutely no reason because of misguided, misplaced decisions, priorities. And that is the tragedy of Alfred Nobel's work, and that's why he died in pain and agony. I'm very curious who of AI is going to die in pain and agony because of the hardship and destruction they're doing to our children and our adults and our whole communities. AI will do more. It will revolutionize learning, helping teachers to focus on what only teachers can do, inspire. And that is where our focus has to be in using AI. Now, many years ago when I was a lot younger, barely not yet graduated from college, I was a postage stamps collector. It's a hobby of philately. And there was no book on stamp collecting in India. So I wrote a book called it Stamp Collecting Simplified. But as a college student, I had no money to pay for publishing the book. But my city in Mysore, Karnataka, India, had a benefactor, Mr. F.K. Irani, who ran a motorcycle company called YesD. And you have a little picture. This is the back cover of the book. So I reached out to him and I said, this is my cost. Can you give me 3,000 rupees, which was something like $450, $450. He wrote a check, and that's how the book came into being. And the advertisement is a little bit faded. You can't read. Says, beauty is only skin deep. All of you know that. YesD is the exception. Great on looks, greater in performance. Ask the man who owns one. At that time, it was only men who drove motorcycles. Today, it's different, but that's what this was the corporate YesD message we put on the book. They supported learning through philately. Now, inspired by this success, I wanted to publish more books, but again, you know my poverty line, I have no money. So there was in Bombay a shoe company called Corona Footwear, and the president of the managing director of the company was a leading philatelist. So I went to him, spoke with him, and said, I wanted to speak with him, but there's no access. It's like me wanting to meet Bill Gates today. That'll remain a fantasy probably in my lifetime. But there I went to Delhi as a judge for a stamp collection, and I was coming back through Bombay to meet a gentleman who published, whose book I wanted to publish. The book was called India Used Abroad. In the interest of saving time, I'll tell you I want to ask you a question. What do you think it was? It is a collection of postage stamps of India used in foreign countries that had no postal system and no postage stamps. It's a fascinating book. So I've never met him. So on the way back, I let me meet you. And he said, hey, do you want to meet somebody? And I said, yes, I want to meet Mr. G.C. Jain because I just want to meet him. And so he said, okay. He asked the gentleman and he said, okay, let him come to my office at 10:15. I'll give him 15 minutes. That's not what he said. He said, ask him, let's all meet for lunch in the Taj Mahal Hotel, which is the best hotel in Bombay. I reached there, unfortunately, 15 minutes late. And then I apologized to him profusely. He said, no, no, don't worry about all that. Let's have lunch. Let's talk. Now I'm wondering, how do I ask him for 3,000 or 4,000 rupees when I'm already guilty and late? And then he suddenly says, nobody is teaching children the lessons that stamp collecting can teach them. If anybody did that, I would support it and pay for it. Now, this was more than an answer to my prayers. And I said, okay, sir, I'll send you something. I go back. Some of you may remember the old-fashioned typewriter. You type and hit the carriage, go to the next line, type again and send. That's what I did. Put it in an envelope, sent it to him. He liked it, gave it to his PR manager who loved it, gave it to his advertising agency, and they said, get him here immediately. They flew me back to Bombay. And out of this was launched the Corona Stamp Collectors Club, which is India's first customer loyalty program. And in the world, I believe until today, there's no loyalty program to beat mine. And I'm saying that with the reason we'll come to in a bit. So here, the thing was simple. Come to my shop, buy anything for 50 rupees, which is about $6, $7 at that time. And a child in your life will get 1 year membership in the Corona Stamp Collectors Club. We'll send the child a book on stamp collecting, postage stamps, albums, all kinds of things. People would embrace it great. And then every quarter, we would have a competition. In order to take part in the competition, you should include a proof of purchase from the shop. No value. It can be a pair of shoelaces, shoe polish, socks. We don't care. Just come to the shop, buy something, attach the proof of purchase. It became so addictive to the children who did not have a need or the parents didn't have the money to come and buy something every quarter. They would line up at the door to the shop. And when you come, sir, madam, please can you give me your proof of purchase? Some will say, sure, why do you need it? Then they'll tell them this, oh yeah, go, good luck and give it. Somebody else go back to the shop and shout at the manager, why in the world didn't you tell me? I have a child who should be there. Oh, sorry, sir, I was very busy, I forgot, sir. And That is the impact it had on children. So what we did, the first day we launched it in one state, Karnataka, where I lived. Second year we took it to South India. Third year we made it all India. Fourth year, we were the largest philately club in the world with over 26,000 members. No computers, no email, no Wi-Fi, nothing. But that's the impact, completely done by our passion and hard work. And the expense was not trivial. We're spending a lot of money, which the footwear company gave me. The point is learning. And my cloud using AI is going to be exponentially stronger than what I'm working on right now. Gamification is another huge thing as a learning tool. And as technology people, you know technology is in your lives all the time. Day in, day out, even when you're sleeping, your head is thinking technology. And technology is all about learning. What you all know, I probably cannot learn in 100 years. But there are young people in your organizations who have to learn and have to deliver. And that is where AI can really make a huge difference. But in learning for just academics, we would give tournaments where they can play games within their own classes and across different schools and make gamification a fun tool that will help them learn better. Now, the evolving demands of leadership today and beyond are something nobody can forget. Running technology companies, it really is critical for every one of us. First, you're in a generation where preteen girl students are extremely stressed out. To me, they are children, 15, 16, 13, 12. They have no business to be stressed out. But we as adults have failed and provided an environment, created an environment where they are stressed out. I live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. in Fairfax County. Right next to me is Loudoun County, which is one of the richest counties. It's also the world headquarters for everything to do with storage. Anything to do with the cloud, it's Loudoun County. Most of the high school girls there are members of the LGBT society, not necessarily practicing anything, but they are. And there's a reason why that happens, and that is something is again caused by us and our society. We have a workforce with very limited experience solving real life problems. And now they have to come to your company, work with you, and solve very advanced problems. This needs extensive training that you provide, and there's no guarantee of outcomes. Whether they will learn, succeed, and deliver, it'll take you 3 to 6 months to discover that. And you hit successes from time to time, fantastic output. There's no guarantee when some competitor will pay them a little more money and attract them. How do you retain them? These are not trivial challenges, they're harsh realities of life. Now you have a dearth of experienced management teams. Everyone, and actually, the most difficult place to speak is when you're just before lunch. To be the speaker between a hungry morning and then lunch is a terrible place to be. I don't know if any of our panelists are still here, but what is more difficult, you are good, more difficult than that is to speak after a good panel. It's a hard act to follow. So long I hate this panel, they're doing such a good job. Will you ever be impressed or value what I speak? That was my fear. So the dearth of experienced managed teams is a major problem that we have to deal with, and that is not easy. And AI is going to make it 100,000 times more difficult because the well accepted harsh reality for everybody is this: AI is going to take away entry level jobs. Okay, so I have a child who goes into college. The college education costs more than my mortgage, in cost more than the house. If I'm buying a condo, I can buy a condo for less than what a college education costs in a good university. And there's no guarantee of any kind that my child on graduation with the best of honors will get a job at minimum wages. So instead of spending $250,000 in American University or Boston University, where my children went, or Wellesley or Bryn Mawr or Harvard, where my nieces went, I would do better invest that money in a street cleaning or house cleaning or senior living assisted services business, and the child will have a lifetime of income. Is that where we want to head? Do we want to kill all innovation, creativity? That is where AI can very easily go. The second thing which I really, really don't understand is we kill all the entry level jobs. The more experienced senior people retire. The mid level people get promoted to fill up the senior positions. If any of you know, please tell me who's going to fill the mid level jobs that fall vacant. But there's no entry level people who have learned you can promote. And just be patient. If you're lucky, you'll die and go away, and your successors can deal with it. But God willing, you will not. God willing, you will be alive. And now you'll wonder what's going to happen to my business. I've lost everybody. My senior people are gone. There are no mid level people. You do lateral hiring, you're just transferring the problem. You're robbing from Peter to pay Paul. So I'll take from your company and solve my problem. And now your company is going to be in trouble. You'll take it from his company. And somewhere it's multi level marketing. There is somebody who's not going to have an opportunity. Is anyone thinking of that? Welcome to the new world. Yes, sir. Well, all of this varies by organization, preparedness, and their resources and training. I am exaggerating the problem for shock effect because the hope is they always say, no, you aim for the sky, at least you get for the earth. You aim for the earth, you're going to be dead on arrival. So by exaggerating the problem, I'm hoping that there will be some solutions that you will think of. And you're the leaders. What you think of is what will spread in the marketplace. Now, one critical question. Are all your leaders at your business? Is your work the only place where you are the founder, where you need support? Awareness, no. Oh, sorry. Awareness, no. Your home is the most important place where you lead. Never ignore your leadership team there at home, which would be your spouse, your children, your parents, your siblings, and maybe somebody else. You have to focus on your home in order to be successful at work. I'm saying this to hit you in the face and remind you of something is important with the intent. Every employee of yours has to be happy at home in order to perform in your office. And that is where you set the tone, set the training, and everyone does that. Okay, enough listing all the challenges and thing. I don't want to be the doomsday prophet. We know we have challenges and everything, but I'm sure we will do. What can leaders do? You can do everything by number one, setting yourself up for success, to be always positive and take stress out of your life. Can this be done? 100%. I will give you a very simple prayer. You try that out every day, once in the morning, once in the night, and in between whenever you want to, when negativity hits you. It's a very simple prayer. It's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Grant me the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. The moment you start following this, you will never ever know stress. What nonsense talking? What is stress? I don't even know what it is. This is what you will start telling the people around you. You spread this within your company, and the same thing will happen. Let them spread it with your families. The same thing will happen. And we'll offer programs with which you can do this, and you build your whole workforce so they don't start worrying like the question I asked. Oh my God, if I'm working 3.5 days a week, will you pay me higher hourly rate, daily rate, or will you just pay me 3.5 days, or you'll still pay me 40 hours a week, but only ask me to work 3.5? No one has the answer. Now, if I keep stressing about this, I'll go nuts because I have no role in it at all. I have to accept whatever my employer gives me. And that's why I have to accept the things I cannot change. But what I can do is say, okay, my employer may cut my workforce, my hours to 3.5 days a week. What can I do the remaining 1.5 days? Maybe there's something I can do and supplement my income so I'll still maintain my lifestyle. This is something as the company I would put up together. So my employees, I'll offer them a second part-time. My main job itself has become part-time, so I can offer them another fractional time where they can use. Maybe they can mentor people or do something. I'll put back my profits into paying them. So they go and mentor the youth or something in the community. So we have to first, and who has the most at stake? It's you, the employers. So list the issues impacting your company, involve your leadership and workforce. And at CXO, we have several very creative experts, speakers, sponsors, exhibitors, delegates. Evaluate their offerings, identify the most aligned experts. These are vetted, proven experts you should meet, experience the chemistry, determine the fit. Definitely meet affiliates at CXO 2.0. You'll have a lot of good people there who can help you hold each other's hands, solve problems. We have a service provider here, Scale, which is affiliated to CXO company. They are fantastic to increase your digital presence. A lot of the things the panelists spoke about last, they can help you with. There's another company, Reach IQ, to exponentially improve lead generation. Take the leap of faith, work with them, and you'll find your lives can change. Coming close to the almost end, why me and why now? Because one, I have extensive experience in Asia, Africa, Europe, North America. I believe I'm the master of out of the box thinking. That's my middle name. And your growth is my priority when I'm working with you. And Team Marketplace platform is something I'm offering very soon to all the people who participate in our events here. My pricing is very reasonable. I have a retainer and big bounty pricing. So I deliver results, get you money, and then I say, give me a cut of it. And right now, for conference participants, you'll get 50% off, not for today, tomorrow. I'm not a used car salesman here. It'll be available to you till the 15th of May. So you just express interest, reach out. I'll send you a questionnaire. It's like taking an exam, answer questions. We'll see what we can offer you, and then we'll talk about. Money is not the goal. Your success and growth is because that'll automatically give me a boatload of money. One of the things very critical is employee benefits. That's an area very simple. It's not rocket science. Major medical health insurance. Sometimes you pay more in major medical health insurance than in payroll for lower level employees, clerical staff, and so on. So that's a very critical area that I can give you a lot of value. Okay, if you can just get the previous slide that has contact information. So tech support, can you please bring back the last slide? No, that's the first one. Okay, I can advance it to the last one. So if whatever I said resonates with you, please feel free to take a picture of this. Due to my incompetence of this morning, I left my business cards in the office, and I'm sorry, in my room. So I'm not having it in my pocket, but I will get it done very quickly. And I do have a booth here, so look around, you'll find me. And I'm available. I'll be more than happy to speak with any of you. And any questions that anyone has? We are slightly over time, but I think we can do one or two quick questions. Awesome. No questions is always good. Either I was so effective or is of no value to you. In either case, thank you for being here and enjoy the rest of the show. And I hope to see you all in Singapore when we have that in December, followed by with a short break in Dubai. It's a phenomenal opportunity to expand your services across the world. And in between, you can always take a short holiday in India for those of you who haven't been there before. Again, reach out to me. I'll see how we can help you with that. Thank you and good luck.